What's up? And welcome back to another video. We're going to be talking about neural network mind-muscle connection issues, why you might be dealing with that, and what I do to help overcome those mental barriers that you might be having when it comes to actually feeling contractions in your muscles and seeing them grow and develop over time. Because muscles only grow to their fullest extent when you stretch them to the maximum capacity and then contract them back to the maximum capacity. You should be feeling whatever area, whatever body part you're trying to work on. Let's say it's back. When you're doing bent over rows, you want to pull with your elbow and feel it each time you pull back, okay? You want to really feel it in your back, and the way you can do that is by pulling back with your elbows. That's what you should be focusing on. That's just one example. But this is a great question, and I think it's something that a lot of guys, especially the newbies that are in the gym, can really learn from, okay? And I've always preached when you're first starting working out, you should, for the first 1 year to maybe even 2 years, just work on calisthenics or your natural body weight. And that's where I've seen the most growth and improvement. You don't see a lot of guys anymore really working on calisthenics in the gym and working just doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and dips with their own natural body weights. A lot of people go to the machines. A lot of people use rubber weights instead of metal weights. There's many things that people do in a sense to ego lift or to fit in with the crowd. And as you know, men that watch this channel, we're different. You know, it's just how we are. We're gonna go towards the challenges, the things that most people aren't doing. Most people are either they're not seeing it because they're blue pill, or you know, we just want to push ourselves to the maximum limit. This is not an easy lifestyle, okay? Any of you that have been walking this path and following this channel for a long time, you've seen the growth, you've seen the maturity, not only with myself, but probably with yourself if you've been working on yourself consistently, okay? And staying away from negative people, especially women, and just focusing on improving yourself. You should now be seeing the fruits of your labor. So the first thing I want to say is the main reason you're having a mental barrier or block possibly when it comes to lifting, this was true for me, was because you're going to the gym to ego lift. You're walking into the gym with the tank top on, whether you're just starting or you've been going for a while. And to be quite frank, let's just be honest, you're staring at yourself in the mirror after every set, flexing a little bit, taking too long, you know, maybe taking a gym selfie or just flexing your tricep or bicep in the mirror. You know, you're feeling yourself, you're feeling a little good, you know, nothing wrong with that. You can do it for a little bit, but you're not going to get your maximum out of your workout by consistently doing that every single day you go to the gym. That's why a lot of times you see the biggest guys that are in the gym, the most consistent guys in the gym, they work out in hoodies, they work out in long sleeves, baggy clothes, because this is just a lifestyle now. This is just something that they're in there to lift. They're not in there to focus on how they look in the mirror at that moment. Your muscles don't even grow when you're breaking them down when you're in the gym. You get a pump of blood sometimes, but your muscles grow when you're eating protein and you're sleeping and you're eating all the nutrients that you should be for full recovery. And those guys that are the most committed, the biggest guys in the gym, you'll see this. Most of the times they're in there with their headphones on, a hoodie on, and baggy clothes. And I never understood why that was, because you could tell these guys are big. But it's because when they cover themselves, they're able to focus on their contractions in their muscles instead of, oh, how do my shoulders look today? Oh, are my traps coming in? Are they poking out? How does this tank top look on me? Are people watching me? Right? When your head's on a swivel, when you're not really dialed in, when you're not giving your best effort in the gym, you're going to find excuses, quite frankly, to stare at yourself in the mirror and kill time. And that's exactly what I was doing for many years. And ever since I stopped doing that, and I just did the bare bones basic where I wore a hoodie, baggy sweatpants, I did my pull-ups, I did my sit-ups, did my push-ups, did my dips every single day. I didn't worry about what was going on around me. Thank God that I go to a gym where it's usually just no one's in there. But even when I'm at a regular gym, you got to keep your head down. You got to focus. Do you like, who gives a fuck what anyone thinks about like what you're working on? Who cares if you're not lifting the heaviest weights? Maybe you already work out with hoodies or whatever. Keep that up. That's how you'll feel the mind muscle connection. It's an internal thing. And even if I do get hot sometimes and I take my my baggier clothes off to breathe a little bit so I can focus, I'm not staring at myself. What I'm doing is I'll even close my eyes just because I want to feel if I'm working biceps. I want to keep my elbows by my hips and locked in place and really feel the stretch in my bicep when I'm pulling the weight down and then lifting it back up in the contractions. I want to feel and squeeze out whatever body part you're working on. You want to have a single point of focus. The origin of your mind should be just on that body part, whatever body part that is. You'll see massive results by doing this. And the easiest way to do that is by covering yourself up, not looking around, listening to good music or a good podcast, and just locking in and realizing it's going to take time, but if you're feeling the contractions and you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough nutrition after the gym, that eventually you will get to your end goal. All right. So hopefully that answered your question out there. If you had the same question as this gentleman, if you have any other questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to help you out because on this channel, we want to make well-rounded men, not just men focused on, dating advice or dealing with women these days. Forget all of that stuff, guys. You need to focus on improving your life, improving your finances, and improving your overall health as a man, because if you don't have the vehicle to live life through, what's the point of, any of the other stuff? If you can't even walk, if you can't even function, none of that other stuff matters. Okay. And that's what you get. That's where you'll start to get to an understanding, because a lot of guys, they're just distracted. And I was one of them. And the earlier you understand, you don't care about what other people are doing in the gym. You have your set routine that you consistently do. You do it every day. You take 1 day off, 2 days off, but you should be in there bare minimum 4 days a week, getting it in and only working on feeling the contraction and the full stretch and not checking yourself out while you're working out. Locking in for 45 minutes to an hour and doing everything else that we talk about on this channel. Love you all. Have a blessed rest of your day. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video as well.